I think we're live. All right, we've already got a thumbs up.
I don't see it.
Did you like it? How did anybody show up? Hello, Leah S. Good to see you. Hello, Wolf Eyes. Good to see you all. If you can hear me, let me know. Just want to be sure everything's working, the volume and everything's working. Good evening, Happy Mac. Hello, Paulette. Sherry, good to see you. Susan, hello. You man? Happy Mac, I have a question for you. You're on our video just about every time we have a live video. Would you mind being one of the administrators on the site?
Moderator.
Or moderators on the site? Hello, Paulette, Sherry, Happy Mac again, Susan. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you letting me know you hear me. Hello, Marcia. Hello, Johnny from North Georgia mountains. But I used to live in Gainesville, Georgia, and I used to travel up to the mountains and do a little bit of trout fishing from time to time up there in the German village. Hello. Happy Mac was all ears. That works for me. Joseph. Hello, Joseph. See, you're saying that my bar hasn't loaded yet. When my bar loads, it may jump for. Let me get my good glasses. Well, I understand you need your good glasses for that. Did you do anything with that, Sandy?
Mm-mm.
Okay, I'll see if I can do it right here. Let's see what that did.
That way, if somebody's
Huh.
away or not seeing it, somebody else will catch it.
See if that did it. Let's see. I think that's all you have to do. Yeah. Okay, I think so.
Yeah, it shows it is.
All righty. Well, thank you. We appreciate that very much. Columbus, Georgia. Hello, Marcia. Good evening, Lady Cass. Hello, Mike. It's good to see you. Calm, cool, and collected Charles. Oh, goodness. All right. Well, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, Helen, Georgia. Yeah, Helen was a pretty place when I was around there. Hello, sugar honey iced tea. Boy, iced tea's good. And hello, Jean. Good morning. So, what country are we good morning from today? Thank you, Susan. Yes, smash that like button. When you like our videos, YouTube puts us in the suggested videos for the next video up. So keep that in mind. We appreciate it when you like our videos. So let me go ahead and say this. If you're not a subscriber, we'd appreciate you subscribing. Like our videos when you get an opportunity like that. Share us with your social media folks. I had a lady tell me today. I can hardly say this without laughing because it's funny. You would think it would make people mad, but it didn't. It just kind of struck me as funny. She said, I wish you would quit begging people to like your channel and subscribe to your channel and get on with what you're talking about. And, I don't know how to be but just plain with people. So let me just be plain. Sandy and I, everything we do is online. That's why we monetize this channel. It has advertisement on it. That's how we pay our water and electric bill. That's how we pay our insurance. All this stuff. We have a website that has advertisement on it. We sell on Facebook. All of our stuff's online. And that's just how we make a living. And I don't mean to be rude, but if that offends you, you probably need to watch another channel. Because I want you to subscribe. I want you to like our channel. But I also, in turn, I want to reciprocate that. I want to be a benefit to you, and I want you to enjoy being on the channel. So yeah, we're going to keep saying we want you to subscribe and like our channel. So let's just smash that thumbs up button. I've lost where I was at.
Kind of
Lazy Ace. Hello, Lazy Ace. Homestead, Florida. Nydia, hello there. Hello, Canadian Cabin Girl. I don't know the Mouse family.
Hi, Happy Mac.
Already found them, she said.
Huh?
Okay, Sandy hollered back hi to you, Happy Mac. Hope you heard her. Dave, it's midnight here in Northern Ireland. Well, happy midnight. Did I miss the one who said good morning? Yeah, we've got to pay the bills. I mean, that's just how it is. So then cannot sub or like. Yeah, that's true. I hadn't thought about that, Northern Girl Hobbies. I guess if you haven't signed up, you probably can't like them and do those things. Yeah, Susan, buddy, I got past that a long time ago. I had somebody on here just a few weeks ago tell me I was sounded like a southern hick, a hillbilly. And I said, well, I am a southern hillbilly. What do you think I'm going to sound like? Oh, goodness. That's just too funny. I haven't been in a grocery store in a week. We went out yesterday, was it? Or day before yesterday. We stopped by our local grocery and Walmart and picked up a few things. And I've got another video I'm going to do on that and talk about some things that we purchased and why it's important to purchase them right now. I do have another video I just got through editing this evening late that I'm going to put on tomorrow. Some things I just had on my mind and just wanted to just kind of a general discussion. It's not anything in particular, but just say a few things to you and I guess just kind of socialize a little bit. Well, I'm with you, Canadian Cabin Girl. I don't know how anybody couldn't like me. Oh, goodness. Oh. Dahlonega, Georgia. Yeah, Dahlonega. Been there. West Tennessee. Sounds normal to me. Thank you, Leah. Back and forth. Another prepper is also live. Well, listen, you just got to let them people go. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, I'm just kidding. Northern Girl Hobbies, Kentucky. Nothing wrong with that. Well, thank you, John. I'm right out of the southeastern part of the state. I was accused of being a northerner when I lived down in Georgia. I don't know how on earth they ever figure that. I just don't know. Do I have a generator? No, actually, Susan, we don't. When we had the power go out here back in April, we borrowed one from Sandy's sister. And then we used our car. We pulled our car around behind the house here and ran an inverter in through the window. And we powered all of our lights here in the office and our computers from that. We was able to stay in touch with people like that. And the generator we borrowed kept our refrigerator and freezer stuff from running. So we got by that one. But it's just hard to find them around here and find them in a decent size at a decent price. It's just been hard to do. Everybody needs one. If you've got a freezer, I'll be the first one to say that we're slacking there. And hello, Heather from Australia, upstate New York, in the hills. So I'm a New York Billy. Well, that's good. Always good to have Billies around. Plenty of green
Hi,
beans.
cabin girl. Tell her I said hi.
Sandy said, hello, cabin girl. Her name's Sandy. My wife's name is Sandy.
I don't do no talking.
She don't. Sandy doesn't do much talking. She's completely opposite of me. I talk all the time, and she rarely talks. So, thank you, Tracy. I appreciate that.
I talk a lot around the house.
And Idalia, thank you very much. How much is enough food? Do we need more than a year? What do you think? I think you need all you can get. Now, that's just what I think, and I talk about that in this upcoming video tomorrow. But if you've got a year worth of food put back and you have room for more, I would put back more. And just be sure to continually rotate my stock. There's something I'm going to be looking into here very shortly that I'm going to hopefully do a video on. It's called the ground silver minimum. And that's something that we need to look into and try to get a little bit better understanding of. If it's the case, then we're going to see a lot of things change in our country as far as growing seasons are concerned. And that's going to affect the crops in this country. So we need to be looking into that. And if that's actually taking place, then we need to have food put by. So if you've got room for it and you've got the money to buy it, I would put more back. I wouldn't stop at 3 months. I wouldn't stop at 6 months. I wouldn't stop at a year. I'd put food back because we don't know the outcome of this election yet. And like I said before, it doesn't matter to me as far as what I think is going to happen in the world and the whole big scope of things. I don't think it matters who's president. I don't think it matters who's anything in any of these nations. I see things happening that's biblical prophecy that I think is leading up to things happening no matter who's in power. So that's just my opinion. And I think we need to be prepared for that. I think especially folks that don't know Jesus need to be prepared for that, because there's a lot of things coming that we need God's grace in, that we are certainly going to have to lean on him. Let's see. I'm not planning on eating it. Let me back up here a little bit. Was that Heather that asked that? Heather, yes. How much is enough food? Yes. Jane Doe, Heather, you are not planning on eating it? ? Well, as long as you keep it rotated, you can eat it. Food in cans and the metal cans, especially foods that are home canned, they last for years. Beans and rice and stuff like that, if you put them away and correctly, they'll last for years and years. And man, I'd put enough away to do me a while if I had room for it.
Especially beans and rice.
We was talking today. Yeah, especially beans and rice. Sandy and I talking today. We're going to go to Tractor Supply and get us some of those buckets. We're going to start buying more beans and rice and filling those buckets with it, buddy. We don't know what's coming down the road, but I have a feeling that there's some bad stuff coming down the road, and I won't be ready for it. I think the Lord gives us a window of opportunity to do things and the understanding to do things. And I think that God has given people a wake-up call back in the spring, that he has helped people to come to an understanding that there's a time to prepare and there's a time to sit back and act like that you don't have to do anything because you're a so-called Christian. But now, if you're going to follow the scripture, you're going to be prepared. You're definitely going to be a prepper. That's for sure.
Northern Girl Hobbies. Did you see her
Let's see
question
here.
with the tomato seeds?
Interesting. You're planning on, let's see, evening. I was born in Georgia and have moved everywhere, military brat and spouse. Well, Susan, you're kind of like Johnny Cash. I've been everywhere, man. Across the ocean far, man. I bet you've seen a lot of country. I bet you've seen a lot of pretty country. Military brat and spouse. but not an inverter for the car. Thank you for that tip. Yes, an inverter will save your, well, it kind of saves your gas and it kind of doesn't. It depends on if the generator uses more gas in your car. But if you can get your car close to the window, you don't have to run a big long cord through the house to get your generator in there.
We couldn't get our printers to work on that.
Yeah, our printer wouldn't work, but everything else worked okay. And that was good because it, it kept lights on back here and everything for us. It was the only room in the house that had lights, but at least we had it. And another suggestion about lights, and I had some yesterday or day before yesterday when we were at Dollar Tree. I picked some of those solar lights. And if you'll leave them sitting out and let them power up, you can bring them indoors at night. If you have a power outage, you can actually bring them inside. And I heard somebody say that they put them up under their lampshades and they work just like a lamp. It's a softer light than your lamps, obviously, but at least it gives you light. So that's a good thing to know during power outages if you've got some solar lights to bring indoors and use them. And I don't remember who threw that suggestion out there. I read it here a couple of days ago or maybe last week in our live, but I appreciate whoever brought that up. Hello from beautiful NYS. New York, no, NYC would be New York City. Does that say NYS? NYS. I don't know where NYS is. I'll figure it out by the time they tell me. Hi from the Appalachian Mountains of Virginia. Love your humor. You're listening. Well, thank you, Barbara. We appreciate that. Hello, Cody. I had to go look at my chickens. What did I miss? Lock up my chickens. What did I miss? Mike Pruitt. Mike, you've not missed anything, buddy. I tell you, most folks on here tell you that too. Let me jump back up here where that was at. Wow, my feed loaded and it went.
It's stopping and starting for some reason.
Indoor growing for the big companies. Yeah. D. Brown said, hello, Sandy.
Yeah, I told her hello.
Okay.
Can you hear me holler?
I missed, so Canadian Kevin Girl said, hello, Sandy again. Hi from New Zealand. Well, hello, you stinky old man from New Zealand. I love your name. Stinky old man from New Zealand. Oh, my goodness. Question. I'm a gardener, but honestly don't know the proper way to save tomato seeds. They have a gel-like coating. We took our tomato seeds and soak overnight, about 24 hours. And then I...
just in water, right?
Just in water, just in plain water. And then I put them in a strainer, a real fine strainer. And I rinsed all that gook off of them. All that gunk. That gunk will come right to the top of your water when it's soaking. And I just poured mine right in a strainer and rinsed all that off. Put them on a paper plate. Let them dry for a couple of days, and then put them in an envelope. That's how we did ours. Now,
sometimes you can use paper towels.
Yeah, you can use paper towels if you want to. They seem to stick to paper towels worse than plates, but you can still use paper towels.
Top of the refrigerator
and we set ours on top of the refrigerator where it stayed warm all the time. And after a couple of days, they're dried out enough. You just want them to be completely dried. You don't want them to have any dampness in them. They'll rot or whatever if you put them in an envelope and them down. But yeah, just make sure they're good and dry. Give them 2 or 3 days to dry out real good on top of the fridge and put them in an envelope and put them in your closet. Put the name of what they are on your envelope so you'll remember. Don't do like I do sometimes. Forget to label stuff. Wonder what you're eating. Simply Me bought the lamp you shared with USB for charging. Price and awesome light. Thank you, Simply. I'm glad you enjoyed that. We've got 84 people in the room and we got 45 likes. Don't forget to like our video. That helps us on YouTube. Jesus is in control. Thank you, Tana. Brenda says plant perennial edibles. I planted sunchokes. I'm familiar with sunchokes. I'll have to look that up. Horseradish, Juneberry, sage, oregano, peppermint, and mojito mint today on my dad's property to expand our food forest. That sounds like a great idea. So that I've heard people say God has given us time to prepare. I think He is. I think this is a wake-up call to a lot of followers of Christ, because my wife and I were just not concerned about this thing. We haven't really even considered it or giving it even a thought until this happened back in the spring. And when that happened, we were not just concerned about food, we were concerned about this thing that was going on. And then within just like a week or less, there was a lot of things began to be revealed to us. And we knew then that it was time to make a change. And that's when we really started doing things. It became very obvious to us as to what was going on in this nation and in the world, and that we needed to start prepping and prepping hard. And that's what we've been doing. We've prepped every time we go to the store. We prep. We don't waste a trip to the store. So, hello, thank you for reminding people about Jesus. Well, you're welcome, man. But it's all about Jesus. That's just the bottom line. The Scripture teaches us that
something come in
that He created all things. Things were created by Him and for His good pleasure. Folks miss that all the time. It was all created for His good pleasure, and it's all about Him. So, yeah, you're welcome. And biblical times, exactly. I hope people seek Him. I do too, Sherry. I tell people all the time, if you're not a Christian, it doesn't make me dislike you or look down on you or feel bad towards you or anything like that. If you don't claim to be a follower of Christ, that's your choice. Man, I'm not going to beat you up. If you don't want that, that's your choice. I'll still get along with you. We'll fellowship with you as far as in a spiritual sense, but I'll still get along with you. Still pray for you and hope that you do find Christ. And I'll still try my best to help you in any way I can as far as this prepping and stuff is concerned. I want everybody to be ready. That's just how it is. Everybody needs to be ready. And hello, Sheila. And thank you. Let's see. When do you plant potatoes? You know what? I've not planted a potato in so long, I couldn't tell you. Somebody here can, though. I don't remember. I don't think I've planted a potato since I've been on this property in 20 years. Now, we planted them all the time when I was at home. When I lived at home, when I say lived at home with my parents for 22 years or 24 years, or how long I was there, we planted them every year then, but I've not planted a potato since then. I've planted a lot of stuff, but not potatoes. Yes, Tracy, that's a good idea. If you see gardening books, and you have questions about gardening, that's always a good thing to pick up especially at thrift stores and secondhand stores. You can get them sometimes for a dime or 50 cents a piece. The Mayans were right and we were wrong. 2012 really is 2021. If we have plenty, we can help those. It's a good thing too. I was just listening to a fellow today on a YouTube that mentioned that they had buckets and buckets of beans and rice put back so they can help folks who are in need that just don't see the need or maybe run on hard times or something. So, yeah. Sassy Cat, got a wake-up call in March. Yep. We did too. Wake up. Yep. I agree, Nadia. Remember Joseph. Now, there's just so much stuff going on and I'm not going to get into a political discussion in this. I'm just going to say this so that maybe you'll do some research. I want you to research and make up your own mind on this stuff. But there's so much going on in the political world that people are not seeing. And it's not just one side of the aisle. I mean, you really need to research this and look into it. There is a lot going on that people don't realize. And I will say this, it's not for the good of the people. Okay, so you need to prep. Yeah, you need to put food back. You need to be prepping. More pine gum today is good for cuts and rashes. Well, I didn't know that. I never did like pine gum on me.
That's all you had, probably.
Well, but all of this stuff, any of this stuff from nature, there's all kinds of it that's good for you. But perhaps asking folks to like and subscribe would be more appropriate for the end of the video. Yes, it was me that made the comment. Well, pearls and socks, it's just, if I wait to the end of the video, most of the time, the majority of the folks are gone. And then when people watch the video afterwards, if I wait to the end of the video, a lot of folks don't watch it all the way through. A lot of folks, on a 30-minute video, when I look at my YouTube analytics, we're getting about 10 minutes of watch time per video. So, most people don't go through to the end of the video, and the best time to catch them is at the front end. And that's a business decision. It's not, I'm not trying to be rude or anything. It's just what it is. If I want people to like our video and subscribe to the video, then I need to catch them when they're there. And I appreciate you following us. I'm not trying to be mean. It's like I said in the beginning, I'm not trying to be rude to anybody. It's just a business decision that's just how we kind of look at it and feel about that part of it, as far as asking people to subscribe and like at the beginning. So, and if that annoys you, I'm sorry. I don't know what else to tell you. That's just a decision we've made that we do. We don't do it to annoy people by any means. But anyway, that's why we don't do it at the end. Whoa, my feed just went crazy again. Let's see here. Wow, you talking about a feed exploding.
Where was you at? On who?
Oh, here we are now. Right here we are. I'm back up there now. 10 years been prepping. Stinky old man. We should be in pretty good shape there, stinky old man. 10 years, yeah. I always follow the scriptures. Amen, amen, and amen. I'll give that one 3 amens. Just harvested corn last week here. Too much corn to store. Boy, I'm glad to do that. Clean heat at Lowe's for $12.99 for oil lamps. And I've been stocking up on candles of all sorts also, wax and wicks. You can always make them. Yes, you can always make your own candles if you've got pieces. Hello, Prepper Brian Keith. It's good to see you. Prepare and pray. Yep. They do, Wolf Eyes. Everything going on. They know it. Facebook's the same way. Twitter, all these social media places are like that. These so-called giants. Silicon Valley, they all do that. They know every website you go to. They know every browser you open. They know every time you do anything. That's just how it is. If you're going to use their platforms, it's going to monitor you. It shouldn't be that way, but that's how it is.
They just have a harvest time of 75 to 90 days.
All right, stinky old man. My email is in the description box below. If you have a tip you'd like to share with us that you want me to put on our website so people can print it out, you can send it to that email. You can also post it here if you choose. But now when you post it here and I close this feed out, then we lose all this chat and people won't be able to see it after that, I don't think, and print it out, will they?
It's still on there.
Is it still on?
It'd be
But
hard
anyway,
to find
if you'll send me an
probably.
email of it, I can share it with people where they can print it out. Field freezer with Vincent, $5 for ammo that I shot. That's pretty cheap fencing. Seeds including apple seeds. Yep. If your first name was Johnny, you'd have a real good name there. Yeast is useless without refrigeration. You'd use the paper towels. I'll grow some apple trees soon. Food and puzzle search card this week. Well, buddy, I'm glad that there's so many of you that are still prepping, that you realize that this thing might not be over, and I don't think it's over. I think it's a far cry from being over. Now we saw this thing happen in the spring, and then from the spring it went into let's lower the curve, and 2 weeks let's lower the curve for 2 weeks, and everybody caught that and jumped on board, and then it went from lower the curve for 2 weeks to here we are at the end of November. And in between, they've shut half the businesses in the United States, and half the businesses that's been shut won't be opening back up. And that created mass layoffs. That created mass job losses, permanent job losses. That created these thousands of people having to get into food banks and food lines. And I had somebody today mention that all the SUVs and Cadillacs and stuff like that in the food bank lines, and was talking about how that people that drove those things couldn't see how they needed the food. But now I'm here to tell you, there's a lot of people that drive Cadillacs that got laid off, lost their jobs, and they didn't only lose their jobs, there'll be a lot of them that'll lose their homes, and they'll lose those Cadillacs and whatever it is, or if they're driving Volkswagens, if they don't have money from them, they'll be losing them too. What people's driving right now don't make any headway as far as whether they're at work or not, or whether they're being hungry or not. So don't let that deceive you what people are driving, because they can drive it till the bank comes and gets it. That'll be about the size of that. There's going to be a lot of people that there's going to be a whole lot of people this winter that we're in right now. These mortgages are going to come due that have been put off all summer. The rent's going to come due that's been put off all summer. And but when it does, and people owe thousands and thousands of dollars on their mortgages and on their rent, and they're out of work, they're not going to have the money to pay it. So I would encourage you to struggle with your food bill. There's nothing wrong with accepting this food from food banks. If you need it, get it. I'm all for people getting help. I've always been kind of aggravated at people that went out and got it just to be getting it when they didn't need it. But now when people do need it, there's nothing wrong with that. I've been in need before. So, everybody gets there from time to time. And if you're struggling and you're on fixed income or anything like that, by all means, I'd encourage you to go to your local churches, go to your local food banks, and see if you can get some food there to help stock your pantry. You need to get your pantry stocked. It's not a time to be prideful. Right now is not the time to be prideful. Right now is the time to be prepping regardless. So do what you can to help yourselves and your family. I'll get started here and I'll talk for an hour on that subject right there. So let's get back into the comments here. More vegetable oil and sugar for $1 this week. I like that. I like finding stuff for prices like that. Bought more jars. I'm glad you was able to find jars. When I went back by our Walmart this week, I looked in the cannon section, and they didn't have any of the quart jars at all. They had some half pints and pints left, and some half gallon, but all the quart jars were gone. We was up there a couple of weeks ago when I picked up one flat of quart jars The wide mouth is all they had, and I left another flat for if somebody else needed them. And we found two boxes of the vacuum seal bags that's made by what's the name of that?
Not Food Saver, but
Food Saver. They're made by Food Saver, but it's called Vac Seal. Food Saver makes them, and they work with Food Saver. So they were almost half price to the others, and we bought those. They only had 2 boxes of those left, and I bought both boxes, and that was, I don't know if they'll be getting any more of those back in, but I know those things are getting kind of slim pickings also, the vacuum seal bags. So if you use a vacuum sealer and you can find bags that's fairly inexpensive, you need to buy them, because those will get gone pretty quick too, I think. Once people realize that they're getting, that they're getting low on them, people will buy them up and they'll be gone. Hi from North Texas. Hello, Carolyn. Church down my street was playing on his church bells, Old Rugged Cross. I've never heard it played on church bells. There's certain ones to prep. Some are called, some are not. Stinky old man. Some are called and some are not. That's true. Candace here. Hello from Kansas. Hi, South Texas here. Hello, Angela from South Texas. We're in Yonkers. Hello, Susan. Rhonda. Yes. Happy Max got a woodchuck in her freezer. Well, don't let it gnaw through the side. Oh, goodness. It is all about Jesus. Just down the road, let's see. I notice people are being so judgmental toward one another. Can we please just pray for one another? But we need to pray for one another. I kind of just think I'm one of these folks. You just do what you want to, and I'm not going to bother you. And to get back to the channel, I don't care how you do your channel. I don't care what you do with your channel. If I like it, I'll follow it, and if I don't, I just won't. I mean, but we want everybody to follow us at will. You don't want to make us intentionally. But it's just what it is, Need recipes, as Susan Darling, Rhonda said. Guys, listen, don't forget that too. I've got about 5 or 6 recipes posted on our website that you all have sent me, and they're free to print off. There's a print feature on our website that when you get on the page you want to print, you just click print. It's a green button, and you can remove everything off of that except for just the bare recipe and just print it out. That's a real good feature. That's why I put it on there, so people can print out the recipes without all that other stuff on it. And we have more recipes that's been sent to us that I'm going to be putting on there that I've not got to yet. We had one lady send us a whole menu that she made out for her and her husband when he was laid off. And it was, I don't remember, it's for months, like three months worth of menus and stuff that she put together. So that's going to be a really super good set of menus. And I'm going to put it on as one big menu. I'm not going to put it on as a bunch of separate recipes. I'm going to put it on, like she sent it to me, as a bunch of menus to do for several months. So keep that in mind. I'm going to get that put on there here in just hopefully in just a few days. But that's at backroadsLiving.com, and in the top of the menu bar you'll see it says Preppers, and when you hover over that, there'll be a drop down menu that says Preppers Menus, and that's where it's at. You'll click the Preppers Menus and you can find all those menus in there. So keep that in mind, backroadsliving.com. We also have a Facebook group that we've opened up for preppers that we're hoping some of you folks over there in it to share your knowledge. If you have a social account, I know some of you don't with Facebook, and I don't blame you one bit. If we didn't make our living with Facebook and food with stuff like YouTube and these things, I wouldn't have a Facebook account either. Let tomato seeds soak in water for a few days and let them ferment if you like. strain them dry. The seeds I grew this spring were from 6 years ago. Yeah, how about that? 6-year-old seeds. I like that. Karen says in Texas, we plant potatoes at the end of February. I'm sure that's what she was talking about. Susan says she's probably Mennonite. You might be. I don't know. 100 canning glass jars for free at a garage sale. How about that, Susan? Woohoo! I like those kind of sales. Yeah. St. Patrick's Day for potatoes on the Blue Ridge in Virginia. And Nancy said her potatoes grow in the pantry. That's where most of mine have been growing. Oh, goodness. You got my eyes watering. I can't hardly see the computer now. Oh, goodness. Be a witness to others. See, spreading the gospel is urgent. It is urgent. Telling people about Christ. But he's the only way to God. That's just it. There's just no other way. 2020 is a test, sassy cat. I believe that with all my heart. I believe it's just a run through. I live north, so taters after frost. Here to wake up, tell my churches to wake up. Stop letting the government close you. God is essential. Well, we just quit going to church. We worship God here in our home. He is the most wonderful, wonderful Father. Buddy, I tell you, His Spirit is the most wonderful. You know, that's one of the problems with most, and I'm not going to say all. That's one of the problems with most church folks today is that they have become so dependent on preachers to tell them what the Bible means, and rather than reading the Scripture, sitting and praying and asking God's Spirit to give them revelation. If you do that, you'll be surprised what you'll learn. Lentils are good and cheap. Make some today, week, lunch and dinners only $1 a bag. That's good. We bought some more beans and things like that this week too at the Dollar Tree. Northern beans and things like that. Different branches from the same tree. That's kind of the way the politicians are in our country today. They're all different branches from. Let's see, a lot of churches are closed. Still having church. Amen. Let's see. If the Army prep and the government, then even more we should too. I agree with that. Touch me, not weed for bites and itches. How about that? Susan D, his channel, his rules. Well, that's kind of the way I look at it, Susan. Everybody's got their own channel. They can do what they want to, you know. That's why I've got this channel, so I can kind of say what I want to, you know, and that's the way I do it. Don't want to be mean or rude to people, but and I hope people don't think I am. Hello, late to this live. Hope you're doing well. Well, thank you, Janet. We're doing wonderful. Homemade chili today. You know what? Got a dent in my toilet paper. Don't want to go back to Walmart to fill it. Yeah, I think I'd just hang on to that roll. I wouldn't take it back and return it to replace the dent. Oh, goodness. Anyway, chili. Let's talk about chili now that you brought chili up. Homemade chili. Now, when you make homemade chili, put your leftovers in the refrigerator. And the next day, fix you some spaghetti and use chili on that spaghetti. Or you could do some other kind of pasta. But chili is delicious on pasta like that. We do that all the time here, and we really enjoy it. I crumble crackers up on mine, or if I've got fresh cornbread, I may even crumble a little cornbread up on it instead of crackers. I like cornbread a whole lot. But yeah, chili. But yeah, you know, the government preps constantly. And the Army preps constantly. Our government is one of the biggest preppers on the face of the earth. Why do you think they do that? They've been foreseeing this stuff for years. I could use another word for foreseeing, but I'm not going to right now. Kimberly says, nothing happening on either side of political is for our good. All of these people are evil and have an evil agenda. We better look to God and ourselves to survive this craziness. I will agree with that, Kimberly. I'm not going to get into it though. I'd like to, but I'm just not. Prep status is a really my feed just jumped. I started reading something and it's just gone. Let's see. Wow. I don't know where it went. Food pantry stockpile food, Kim Western Australia. See, none of this was showing on my feed a minute ago. And all of a sudden I'm sitting here looking at it. It's just sitting here like this. And then the feed goes, and there's like pages of it that just loads. It's just crazy how it does that.
It freezes sometimes.
Yeah,
Probably why it's doing that.
I think it is freezing some or something. Yeah, anytime you can prep and get yourself ready without using food banks and things like that, it's a good thing to do. But if you need them, by all means, use them. You've got to take care of yourself and you got to take care of your family. And that's what they're there for. If you need them, use them. I bought some vacuum sealing bags from Amazon. Kelly, they do have some good buys. I don't know if I just bought the wrong brand or what. The ones I bought, when you get down toward the end of the row, the last 5 or 6 items that I vacuum sealed, they had lines in them that let the air seep out just a little bit on some of them. So I had to reseal those after a week or two. We went back and checked everything, and we had to reseal some of that. I always check that stuff when you're buying bags that may look like they're not real super smooth. If they got any kind of crinkles or anything in them, I always check that after you sell them. Go back and check your stuff in a few days or a week or something like that, and make sure that the air hasn't seeped back in. We were able to buy a couple of packs of lids at Walmart that day. We got the jars also, but now there wasn't any lids up there this week. Jennifer says, thank you so much for your video. I've learned a lot from you and watching you now while canning my first batch of strawberry jam. How about that? Well, thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate that. That's what I want to do. I want to be able to help people. I'm not the most knowledgeable person on earth, but as I learn it, I like to share it. I do like to share it with people. Do you have the oil for your lamps? Boy, I've got all of my lamps. Do I have all of my lamps? Yes. I think the ammo shortage along with the food shortage is planned. There's a lot of things planned that's going on right now that people are not seeing. And here's the sad part about it. There's going to be people that when this gets worse and worse and worse, there's going to be people that when they can't find food to buy, they're still going to think the government's going to take care of them. They're really going to believe that. They're really going to not believe that this is happening to them. They're going to be so delusioned. That's sad. It's really sad. But there are going to be people that's going to do that. Price gouging. That's going to happen in times like this. Planting 5-gallon buckets. Yes, you can grow potatoes, tomatoes, all kinds of stuff, squash, zucchini. I've not used those lids yet, Nadia, but I do have some. Now, you said Walmart. The ones I bought at Walmart was ball lids, so I've not bought any of the off-brand lids from Walmart, so I don't know. Love your channel. Voice is calming. Well, thank you, Sassy Cat. I appreciate that. Somebody said, Susan said they'd use them. They were fine. Turned into Walmart here in Tyler, Texas, about 4 p.m. today. Blocks long. Looks like some pretty serious shopping. Yeah, I'd say folks have, and I've never understood that. All the pictures I'm getting sent to me, and I had some more sent today that I'm going to try to share with you tomorrow or not tomorrow's video. I'll shoot a video tomorrow, and it'll probably be ready Monday or Tuesday. But all the stores I see, when people send pictures, it's the toilet paper that's empty. You go look at the canned goods, the toilet paper runs out first. The paper towel runs out second before you ever get to the canned goods, the meats. And I've never understood that. But I'm going to go get the canned goods and the meats first, and then I'll worry about toilet paper last. But that's not how it works here in the States. People clean out the toilet paper. So now let's see. Susan said a long line of cars was turning into Walmart here in Tyler, Texas, about 4 p.m. today. Blocks long. Looks like pretty serious shopping. So yeah, wherever that Walmart is in Tyler, there won't be any toilet paper or paper towels left in it tomorrow or tonight, probably. Please don't use Empire lids. Somebody has a problem with Empire lids. Pack for can. Charles reminds me of my youth pastor when I was a teenager in Tennessee. Man, he could play the 12-string guitar. Well, I can't play guitar. I'm sorry. Don't do very good singing either. But thank you, Joseph. I appreciate that. I take that as a compliment. Have I ever thought about being a pastor? Mike, I have pastored. I've done a lot of work in the modern day church, and that's why I'm not in the modern day church today. And I'm not throwing that at anybody. That's mine and my wife's decision. Or in our area, I'll put it like this. Now, I don't know how it is in everybody's area, but in our area, the churches around here, they celebrate their pastors, and they celebrate their praise and worship leaders. They celebrate their people more than they celebrate Jesus. And when people start putting a name tag on me or somebody else that says pastor, and you start calling me pastor, then I don't want to be around you a whole lot, because I don't want to be celebrated. There's nothing to celebrate about me. The one that needs celebrated is Jesus. And I appreciate you saying that. I really do, because I know your heart's right in it. But I have no desire for that. If I'm going to be in a service or in a meeting somewhere, I want Jesus celebrated, and I want the Word of God spoken, and all this other stuff, it just needs to go by the wayside. It's going to these days. But thank you. I do appreciate that. That's a wonderful compliment. It's well accepted. No middleman is necessary to talk to and understand God or the Bible. That's another pet peeve of mine. You're right. There's not. And when you start talking to a middleman, you have betrayed the blood of Christ. You have put him to an open shame. Yep. I've stopped shopping until I get everything organized. Buddy, I'd pile it up and organize it when I got run out of money, but you can do what you want to.
As long as you got room.
As long as you got room to pile it, I'd pile it up. I'd worry about organizing it later. I'd be getting it.
Sometimes though, organizing, you can
it does help.
How much you got.
It does to know what you got and what you don't have, to know what you might need extra of.
We've done it several times.
Yeah, I'd try to make that a priority. If I was going to wait on it till I got it organized, I would really make that a priority and try to get it done as quick as possible. I'd never get on. That sounded like ours looked here a while back. Nature said, I'll never get it organized. I'm lucky to find it. I've hit it too well. Oh, goodness. Well, thank you, Barbie's Roll. We appreciate that. Our pantry, my wife has organized our pantry 2 or 3 different times. She's went through it and reorganized and redone, and we've got a couple of different places that we keep food in. We've got a kind of like a smaller pantry that we work out of, for the kitchen stuff, and then we created another pantry in another room that we've got some shelves that over in there that we use now, and we've just got stuff everywhere, but it's in shelves. It's in shelves, and it's kind of organized. What goes together: the meat and the flour and the meal and all that stuff. It's all together, and sugar and stuff. But it's kind of scattered around. Let's see. Well, Paulette, I'd say you're right. I'd say beans and rice. There's been a lot of people lived on beans and rice, and there are people in foreign countries that basically live on rice. So, we can get by if we decide to. It just comes down to being able to make a decision in your heart and mind. Oh my goodness, somebody gave us a super chat. Who is that? Dan DeJarn. Well, thank you, Dan. We appreciate that. Man, that's very nice of you to do that. I believe that choosing between political parties is the same as choosing which brand of cigarette will kill you sooner or later. I think you're right, Stinky old man. It's like I said a few minutes ago. Somebody said that we're just branches off of one tree. Jesus being the root and the tree, and we're the branches off of that. And that's what politicians are. They're the branches off of their father. Well, we're the branches off of our father. And they're just different branches on the same tree. Yeah, I agree with you. Bought a box of toilet paper from Amazon, has 60 rolls in it for $61. Walmart sold out again. Well, Amazon will be sold out pretty quick again, I think. I had forgotten about that. I think the Alaska Prepper had mentioned that on his channel, that he had bought toilet paper at Amazon for a real good price like that. So that's another thought if you're looking for toilet paper and can't find it, because it'll be sold out pretty quick once people realize it's there. I got a new channel. It's called Backroads Living. I watch it every change I get, and I even liked him on Facebook. How about that, Wolf Eyes? And he did. And he joined us on Facebook. We appreciate that too. I don't know if I'd want to be called a stinky old man or not. No, I'm just kidding. Paper list, you remove a bag of sugar, you mark it down. If we had 10, you write down 9 beside it. I like that. I wish we could think to do that. But now we have made a list, and we went over it as far as how many pounds of flour and meal and that kind of stuff we need, sugars and salts and those things. We have person, Yeah, we've got a list for one person, and we're having to triple that because we're trying to put back for free. So that's why we're staying after it. And again, let me reiterate that. I would encourage you to continue to prep. We've got a video coming out tomorrow, right here. I don't know what time we'll put it up, but we've got another video coming out tomorrow. We put one out today. The one we put out today was, I've already forgot what it was about now. It was about the corn shortage. You need to watch that if you're not. There's going to be some people wake up here shortly in the next few months, and they're going to start seeing corn rationed. So, or I think so, with everything's been going on. So you might want to watch the video. It's about are we having a corn shortage? And then the one tomorrow is just like a general talk with you guys. Just want to share my heart with you and just visit with you and just spend some time with you, kind of away from all this other stuff. And I got outside and talked to you a little bit. And then I've got another one coming up that we're just working on this stuff all the time. And it's so time consuming that it, and that's just what it is. It's what we do. So, and we enjoy it, or we'll do it.
The person had asked how do they put up flour and sugar in a food saver?
Okay, now here's how we do our flour. Now we don't sell our sugar. We just leave our sugar we put our sugar in like one of those tubs, like a Walmart tub with a lid on it. You need to keep it where the ants and stuff like that can't find it or get to it. But we vacuum seal our flour and cornmeal, our rice and beans. You don't have to vacuum seal rice and beans. You can put them in plastic bottles if it has, what's that say on the bottom? PET or PET. That means they're food safe. You can put rice and beans in bottles like that. You can store rice and beans in glass jars if you need, half gallon, quart, whatever it is.
Paulette said she puts her sugar in glass jars.
There you go, Paulette. You can put your sugar in a glass jar. But now when we store our flour and our meal, we use it. When we bring our flour and meal in the house from the store and our rice and our beans, we put them in the freezer and we let them sit for a minimum of 4 days. Sometimes we leave them in our week. We take them out and we let them thaw out for 2 days. I lay mine and as they create condensation on the outside of them, I just flip them over and let the towel absorb the condensation from the outside. And after 2 days, they've dried out completely. They're dried through and through, and then you can vacuum seal them. I've actually got a video on here of me vacuum sealing. Did I do flour in that? I need to do a video.
Yeah, flour. I think so.
I think I've got a video on my channel here of vacuum sealing flour. Just type in vacuum seal in the search bar there on our YouTube channel. You should be able to find it. And I also have one where we vacuum seal some rice and things like that. So, but yeah, just let them thaw out or let them dry out really well. They have to be dry. If you put them up damp, they'll turn rancid on you. Stock up on herbal medicine. Yeah, I wish I knew more about the herbal medicine, Kelly. We probably need to get somebody that knows a whole lot about that to write an article for us for our website. Which, by the way, if you want to write articles for our website about specific things, just like that, like herbal medicines that are common to the United States or common to certain states or things like that, give us a shout out. We'll be glad to talk to you about it. If it's something that we feel like can benefit people, we'll be more than glad to work with it on that. 5G, let's see. They are, I didn't even mean to read that. I'm say that. I meant to read it, but not say it. But yeah, I think that's a danger. Mandy, there's a lot of people that just won't believe this. They just won't accept it. They don't believe it. They just will not believe that the United States could come under such a thing as it's coming under right now. And they do not believe. There's people that will never believe that the government won't bail them out of this and take care of them out of this. And that's just how it is. There's some people that's never, ever going to believe it. You've got to stock up and you've got to do what you need to do to take care of your family and your home. Do the best you can. Now, I know this is going to sound kind of hard, but you've got to do to take care of you and your family. If you have extra and you can help people, by all means, help them. But when you have begged people to do these things and they've not done them, and you don't have any to spare, then they're just at their own mercy. And I'm not saying that to be mean. It's just that, people need to open their eyes. And if they're not going it, then you can't make them. We just can't make people. It's just like I said about salvation. You can't make people accept Christ. You cannot make people do this thing. You can't beat them and drag them, keep them into altars, because it makes no difference in the world.
Happy
When you
man
do
said
that.
the internet is being mean with the audio. Breaking up audio.
Breaking up audio. All right, listen. I tell you what we're going to do. We've been on here an hour. I appreciate all of you. And again, thank you, Dan, for that super chat. We really appreciate it. That was very nice of you. So remember to keep prepping. If you need to organize and see what you've got, and then go back and get some more to organize. But keep it up. Don't stop. The Walmarts are pretty much bare on toilet paper, paper towels. But right now, our Walmart is still got, or it did day before yesterday, it still had canned vegetables and a little bit of canned meat. But again, they're in some spaces. Get your stuff put back and get it ready. Be prepped and be ready. Even be ready in the long term for this thing, for power outages. Have your candles put back. Have your batteries put back. Have your lights where you can find them. If you need fuel for cook stoves, get it. If you've got an outside grill, buy you some charcoal. Put back charcoal to cook on. You may have to cook on a grill outside on a patio or a deck or out in your yard. Who knows what could come of this? Just try to get everything you can to be prepared. And then in the end, you'll be glad you did. Not only will you be able to help yourself, but there'll be some of us that will be able to help others. We'll be able to be a blessing to others.
What's buffering so bad?
I don't know what's buffering so bad, but we're having trouble here. So we're going to sign off tonight, okay? And let me say again, thank you, folks. We appreciate you. We love you guys, and thank you so much for being a part of our channel. And it's not just a part of our channel, it's a part of our lives. You guys have been such a blessing to us. You can't know. Only heaven will tell the blessing that you have with us. So again, thank you all. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, you might want to subscribe and give us that thumbs up, give us a like. We appreciate that. And until the next time, we'll see you in the next video. Good night, everybody.